This house actually started out at Ellington Field. It was actually built in 1933. It was one of the first of the Roosevelt houses. And that is under Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The Farm Administration program started a program where if you owned a certain number of acres and you were farming it, the government would loan you money to build a house. In 1941, when World War II broke out, the government decided they needed to expand Ellington Field, so they bought out the farmer and his property and his house. The house was declared surplus, and it was sold to a man from Pasadena who took it up to Pasadena and put it on Harris Street and turned it into a paint store. And actually, if you go along and look at our beautiful floors here, you could still see ghostly circles and rectangles, the outlines of where the paint cans and the turpentine cans were. Well, then the property there was sold again and the house was surplus, and the city of Pasadena purchased it, moved it over to Memorial Park, and then rented it out to the state for a driver's license bureau. And then in 1975, they turned it into Pasadena's first museum. That's when it was located in Memorial Park. And this lasted as far as where the museum was until 2001, when Tropical Storm Allison came to this area and put 30 inches of filthy floodwater into both houses and ruined a good many of the exhibits. The city had actually wanted to demolish this building on the spot over there in Memorial Park. They thought it was in that bad a shape. But Ms. Edna talked them out of it and talked them into moving it over here instead. So if not for Ms. Edna, this house would be debris in a landfill. And after her death, the city decided to rename Prairie House after Ms. Edna. This one is a classic museum setup with glass cases and separate, exhibit areas. The other three houses are basically set up when you're walking into them. You feel like the original inhabitants just walked out. They're set up the way they lived back then. These houses celebrate the working people of Pasadena. When you toured this house, of course what you're looking at here are San Jacinto exhibit and Crown Hill Cemetery. And Pasadena is where the last blood of the Battle of San Jacinto was spilled in 1836. And this is a diorama that was actually constructed by the Pasadena High School art students back in 1975. And this is original with the museum. Back here, you can see a desk that was taken out of the Pasadena Railroad Station before it was demolished in 1963 to make way for the freeway. This is actually the station master's desk and includes a lot of the tools of his trade, including red lantern for flagging down locomotives. And over in the corner here, we have our Hadano exhibit. Hadano has been the sister city of Pasadena since 1964, but these are just some of the presents that they've given us over the years. Gilley's became famous all over the world. It was always more than just a honky-tonk. The most important thing is that it had a full-size recording studio and a radio station. And at one time, the Live from Gilley's broadcasts were being rebroadcast over 500 radio stations, including the Armed Forces Network. And the recording studio, they recorded the performances there at Gilley's live, and then afterwards the artist could go over and cut a classic studio album. So for a young artist starting out, like George Strait was at the time, this was an excellent chance to get your music across to the public. And because of that, again, it was far more important than just being a nightclub, because it was a major influence on both country music and popular music. Where we're standing and a whole lot more used to be part of the Allen Ranch. So there are a lot of photographs in there. There's a diorama in there showing the racetrack and other things. Oh, there are many, many other things here in the museum. We have a nice big gift shop where we sell things to help support the museum. We just have all sorts and sundry of things in here. We are located at 204 South Main Street here in Pasadena. That is 1 block south of 225. Right now the hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 2:30. The main museum number is 713-472-0565. Also, keep an eye out for our presence on the web at both the Pasadena Historical Society website and the website for the City of Pasadena.